Greetings everyone, this is my first true video on YouTube. Now, having said that, check out my very first video, where I talk about why I'm on YouTube, what I want to do, and what my goals are. Now, enough with this intro though, I want to get my first video finished. Another thing is that I switched storytelling methods for the last two drawings, so about halfway in. So tell me which style you prefer. Greetings, I'm Upper Council Member J. You are all on time for your briefing, as to be expected for the lower council. For today, I'll be briefing you on my branch, the intergalactic branch. To start off, I'll describe some creatures we encountered, as well as what we know about them. Let's start this off. First, I'll talk about Pete Quall. Now, the Kree Empire spanned multiple galaxies, but one planet was inhabited by special creatures. These creatures were biomechanical life forms created by the Kree, meant as disposable surges and workers. For example, the only thing these creatures knew was the programming left by their elders, and it stayed this way for centuries. However, a young creature named S-963 finally had a thought of his own. He later learned to call himself Pete Quall, after hearing Earthen radio through his transceiver, thinking it to be a rather cool name. Using his natural skill, he built a speaker into his soldier, and while listening to all the frequencies he could pick up, he encountered a rather odd broadcast. Ravagers, are we in position?
Not yet, sir. The ship evaded our senses.
Quall saw a burning object in the atmosphere. He assumed it was the ship they were talking about. While walking towards the wreckage, he saw nothing but debris. Though looking at the debris gave him an idea, with stunning quickness, the naturally tech-savvy alien used this debris to empower himself. With a quick smirk, he turned to the sky.
Earth, here I come.
A quick blast of energy launched him into the atmosphere with extreme speed. The alien now had his new goal. He was roughly about 20 minutes into his journey when he came to a halt. A ship was blocking his path, until he heard a voice on his intercom.
Hey, you got potential, kid. Not everyone can make enhancements to their body that fast, especially from a crashed ship. We could use someone like you.
Quall couldn't help but feel joy. After months of training and trust building, Quall went out into space. Years later, he became Star-Lord. Yes, I know, calm down. Yes, he's an intergalactic criminal, and the leader of a super team called the Guardians of the Galaxy. And right now, they're on our side. So relax. Okay, so this design, what I really enjoy about it is the fact that I made it look pretty much what I assume he would look like if he took the place of an alien in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Cause Star-Lord himself, he's not really superhuman in any way. He's just kind of I guess Batman-ish, Iron Man-ish. He's just kind of a tech guy. And then he's got a bunch of tech and he's pretty smart and pretty cunning, and that's what he has going for him. I definitely think that adding the Blacino into his design was a very good choice, because adding that little splash of color, it really does help. Because the orange, I feel looks really cool with the decals, especially the fact that it's orange and black, which are notorious for being good colors together. The background definitely needs some work. I definitely think getting rid of the title screen, which I did do in the later drawings, because the sort of title on top was a thing I did when I first got the idea to record my stuff. And well, you see, I didn't really like it, so the next ones don't have it. Another thing is the sort of electricity that I have on him. I think I definitely could have made look better, and I think I could have made the energy around him a little better. But all around, I don't think it's that bad of a design, and I actually quite enjoy it.
Now, why I chose Star-Lord specifically is because he is my favorite Marvel hero. Just period. Like, he's one of my favorites. Yes, I know he kind of messed up in Infinity War and, like, a whole bunch of other stuff happened. Though I really do enjoy just Star-Lord in general because he's like this really snappy, really quick, really hi-ya in your face kind of guy. And that's kind of what I enjoy in a character. I like the snarky characters like Spider-Man, Deadpool, like that. Oh yeah, what you gonna do about it, punk? Kind of ones, which is exactly what Star-Lord is. I also really like the fact that I made like Star-Lord's mask, like the actual head of the alien, and as you can see, the top head of the alien is kind of Accelerate inspired because it's got like the cone shape. Though another thing I really like about it is the fact that I incorporated like majority of his tech, because like his I guess hands are the little blasters he has, like the pew pew blasters. Why did they make him look like a horseshoe? I don't know, but hey, I mean, it looks good.
In the universe, there are very few people who can match up to alien species. One such species is a Blacino in our next topic. These creatures are extremely deadly. As a subspecies of the xenomorph, this is to be expected. However, the Blacino specifically evolved as protectors of other species. This is mostly done due to it being more substantial than other types of xenomorphs. Now, the issue being that they still have the violent tendencies the species is known for, which results in these aliens harming their prey more than necessary just to get some minor results. One specific Blacino, who for now shall be known as Rocky, had protected a large city called New York, the inhabitants of said city giving him his name, and he did protect it from another number of criminals, hero or not. However, he sadly challenged a foe far too powerful. A blue-blooded titan was watching Earth for unknown reasons. Rocky, though, perceived this as a threat, and while he did attempt to use his speed and strength, which are far beyond that of a human, to attack this titan, the blue-blooded titan is basically omnipotent, and as such, it wasn't fazed. However, it also saw Rocky as a major annoyance, considering that he wouldn't let up with his relentless attacks. With a quick glimpse, the blue-blooded titan had vaporized poor Rocky. The Blacino is easily one of the most mundane due to its appearance, but yet one of the most powerful of aliens. So, for this one in particular, yes, I did use Rorschach, but I also used, like, the Xenomorph from the Alien franchise, and I really enjoyed it, not only because, like, I really love the Alien franchise, but because I think it works perfectly for Rorschach, because it's just, like, they're very stealthy, but they hit really hard, and they are very ruthless, which is basically what Rorschach is. Because in The Watchmen, when he's trying to get answers, he goes into a bar and just breaks some dude's finger off. Well, not really breaks it off, but he does break it to, like, the point I'm pretty sure the guy can't use it anymore. So, pretty brutal. And I did try to reflect that in the lore I gave for this one, and, like, the story building. Now, I'm not so sure on the pose. I definitely think the pose could be better, the background could be better. All in all, I'd say this is pretty decent. I don't think it's the best one of this video, but I do think this one's pretty good. And as you can see, yes, I got rid of the title one, and this is one that I made specifically for this video. So, that'll explain it. And I did use the My Hero Academia slime monster for, like, the tendrils on the back, and I
kind of added it because, like, the coattails that he typically has, and also the Xeno face, it just looked too perfect. I had to put a mask on it. Rorschach's mask specifically, which is based on a Rorschach test, which is what people will do to, like, test you on certain things. I'm not entirely sure what they use to test it for, but they definitely do use it for testing. And I'm not really entirely sure why I added the rust in the back of the background. It eludes me right now, but I'm sure I remembered back then. I definitely do think that the, like, making the body, like, mostly brown and, like, the front part, the black and gray, kind of does work. But I think I definitely could have blended the colors a little better. Now, this could just be me being harsh, because, you know, I don't really consider myself that good of an artist, but I think this is all in all a pretty decent one. Once again, I don't personally think it's the best, but I definitely think it's up there. I definitely think him, like, punching the ground and, like, breaking it some is a very good, like, interactive thing, because I really want to get the point across that these things are, like, very, very hard. Like, I am going to do what I must. I don't care who's in my way. You're in my way, you're getting flattened, kind of idea. Like Juggernaut from X-Men. And this is a pretty decent one, so not much else to say. I'll see you in the next video, I guess. Or, I guess, in the next picture. Okay, remember when I said I might do design notes for some of these? Well, this is one of those. Because I drew this before I even thought of YouTube as a possibility, and I'll take some time to explain this. So this is one of my first ever drawings. The Star-Lord one was from a while ago, but it was somewhat recent. Hence the title, as I was experimenting with that at the time. Now, the Rorschach alien and the last alien were specifically drawn for this video, so I'm also going to change narration styles. Just tell me which you like more. Now, having said that, I'll move on to the last drawing, which, in my opinion, is my favorite. And, honestly, probably the best. A boy by the name of Timmy Turner is an average kid that no one understands. His mom and dad and babysitter were always giving him commands. Timmy was generally hated by a majority of his classmates for thinking out of the box. His imagination always left him as the weird kid, the odd one out. Timmy was walking home from a very bad day at school, ready to get yelled at by his babysitter once again. Thankfully, his mom and dad were home, so Vicky, his babysitter, couldn't torture him all too much yet. Timmy ran to his room in hopes of avoiding this and slammed his door shut. He laid on the bed before he simply sighed. "Why is it always me? Can't I have anything good?" As if willing it into existence, a green light shone into his room. With a flash of light, it turned into a humanoid.
Greetings, Timmy Turner. I come in peace.
The young kid backed away in shock and fear, as most would. What are you?" The grayish alien just smiled, snapped its fingers before a tornado of green air turned Timmy's lamp into a fountain spewing chocolate syrup.
I'm your alien godparent, of course.
Timmy's eyes lit up, kind of like a Christmas tree, in all honesty.
Alien?
A chuckle escaped the alien's mouth.
Rightio, call me Cosmo.
Cosmo from Fairly Odd Parents. Honestly, one of my favorite shows growing up. It's up there with, like, Adventure Time and Regular Show. It's one of my personal favorites. Like, I think it even rivals SpongeBob. And I specifically really enjoyed Cosmo from that show, because he was always just, like, the quirky, funny guy. Like, he never really got serious, and when he did, you knew it was, like, really, really, really serious. Because he was normally just, like, a major joker. And this is evidence because, like, you have the based Cosmo stuff, like, you have a perfect civilization, why would you want to add a woman to it? Stuff, like, he was just an all-around funny character, like, even before he was seen as based. And I think I did a decent job with the design. Now, you'll notice when I started off, I did, like, the 2 eyes kind of thing, but then shortened it to 1 eye and, like, shrunk. And I did this because I thought it looked, like, a little better with just 1 eye, because, like, traditional gray cartoonish alien, like, you saw Roger from American Dad and, like, Invader Zim. I used those two as, like, also kind of references. Also, since he has, like, the crown stuff, I figured, I might be able to do, like, a little extra. And I incorporated his wand into, like, his head and, like, the little things above his, like, antennae, I guess. All in all, I think this is a pretty decent one. And realistically, it is my favorite of this video, not only because of the background, which I think I, like, nailed pretty decently, but also the fact that just, like, I seem to have captured Cosmo's energy, because Cosmo is, I guess, sort of a hype man in every sense of the word. Since he kind of just doesn't, I guess, get tired. He is always just one of the greatest people in that show. And I think I did capture that sort of, like, child wonder with it. And while I do think the arms look a little off and, like, I could have done better with the tie, I definitely do believe this was one of the better drawings I've ever done, in my opinion at least. Maybe I'm biased, but who knows. Realistically here, Cosmo is an alien I don't really perceive all too much as a threat, even though, like, his powers are one of the most threatening powers you could ever have. Because, like, this alien can alter reality in, like, any way he wants, and if he were to end up, like, going rogue, or, like, this species went rogue or whatever, just snap fingers, everyone's dead. And I wanted to get across that, like, he's powerful, he's strong, but, like, there's also a childlike wonder to where you don't see it as, oh no, this could be an issue. You see it as, oh, that's the typical, he's a pretty funny guy. Since that's what Cosmo is, the funny guy. And I personally really like the color scheme I chose, because I think the traditional gray alien works better than, like, the traditional green one. Because the green one, I wanted to keep it subtle in the design, because Cosmo isn't just, like, all green. Sure, his, like, fish transformation is all green or whatever. I think so, at least. I'm not sure. But, I mean, turning his skin all green, even though he's the green one, doesn't really make sense to me. But all in all, I think this is the best one, and I guess it's time to move on to the outro. Okay, I'm glad I finally got this video out. I've been working on it for a while now, and yes, while this is unorthodox, I simply want to know how this would fare, and honestly want to get this out so I can set up my channel to know what you guys want. So, if you do want to see more of my artwork that probably won't appear in a video, then check out my Instagram, Megasticks. You'll probably see it on the screen right now, and if you don't, that's my mistake. I'm always down for commissions, just so long as they're PG. I'm not going to draw the P word, and I'm not going to say it because YouTube would probably eliminate me pretty quickly. So, if you want a commission, then reach out to me on Instagram. Now, the price varies depending on how hard the commission is for me to do. Sketches will start at $20, and full color pictures at around $50. Once again, please comment which narration style you like, as it's what I'll do. Please like and subscribe since it helps with the algorithm, and anyway, this is Sticks, signing out.